everyone, it's Ellen from Classroom Unbound, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I plan for our school year. So before I start planning, I lay out everything that I'm going to need. So what I have here is my bullet journal, paper to write notes. This is my planner for the year, and then this has the curriculum that we're going to be using. I have my laptop and, of course, a cup of tea. I like to lay out all the curriculum that I'm going to use for the year, just the main part. I don't really do like any supplemental material that I'm going to use, just like the core subjects, basically. So I lay all that out either on a large table, or in this instance, we have a loft and a lot of floor space, so I'll put it up here. The next thing I do is go through each curriculum or subject and write down the number of lessons or the number of weeks that are in the curriculum or subject. And then based on the fact that we are going to have 36 weeks of school this year, I will divide out, do simple math on how many times a week that I need to do each lesson in order to complete it by the end of the year. So how I wrote everything out and figured things out was that anatomy and botany, they each have 18 weeks worth of lessons, which works out perfectly with Build Your Library, because we'll do anatomy in the fall and then botany in the spring, and then these two together are 36 weeks, so that's perfect. Since we're using Story of the World, Volume 2, this is already laid out in the Build Your Library curriculum, so I don't need to do that. The handwriting, we have 66 pages, and since there are 36 weeks, I basically wrote it down to about 2 per week. The first language lessons, there's 100 lessons, so we'll do about 3 per week, and then so on and so forth. The geography and the spelling, they each have like I think 4 or 5 activities that you can do each week. So instead of, for the geography, for example, there's like 1 per day. Let me pull that out real quick. There is here, so we have like one or 2 questions per day. We'll probably just end up either doing this all in one day. I'm trying to find a good angle with the camera, it's not really working, but we'll probably just do a whole 2 pages or a section on one day, instead of breaking this down, 1 per day, because it's a little simple. Or what we might do for twice a week, we'll just do this on one day and then this on the second day. Math, the boys' math are pretty similar in lesson numbers, so we'll do that 3 to 4 times per week. The artists have that broken down to twice a week, and then since I'm using 3 different music books, I've just added them all together, and then come up with about 2 to 3 per week as well. So now that I've written down the frequency of each subject, now I'm going to go and break down what subjects are going to be taught which days of the week. So this all can be done in Excel. I just love to write, so I'm just writing it out. But you could easily do the same idea in Excel. So I'll just we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I know with the sassafras, you could do 2 days, 3 days, 5 days a week, however you want. That's kind of up to you, but we are going to go with 2 days a week for our science, and also 2 days a week for our history. And then we'll go down from there. I want the main subjects, like your math and reading, to be done daily. So I'll write those down first. Reading, and we'll just go all the way across. And that's your basic reviewing phonics sounds and going over maybe some phonics rules, and then also reading in and of itself. So me reading aloud and the children reading to themselves, and then also math. But since I have put math as 3 to 4 days a week here, I'm going to do math lessons Monday through Thursday, but then on Friday I'm going to use that as a game day where we will play some kind of math game instead of doing actual lessons. And then I'm going to do the same thing with all of the other subjects. So now that I've written everything out, I just double check with the top and I realize, looking at this, that I forgot geography, so I'll slide that in that one open spot. And I have laid out what we want to do each week. Now, in addition to this, we will be doing the morning basket every day, so that's just something that we'll do to start off in the morning. So at the bottom, I have written basically like a loop schedule that we're going to follow. After we get done with all of our work in the morning, we'll be doing art and music, poetry, tea, logic and critical thinking, focusing on country culture, and science Friday. So for these, I'm going to give us like 30 minutes, maybe to an hour, and this is something that we'll do all together. So for art and music, we might listen to a piece of music, look at some art, and emulate that art when we can. Poetry and tea will be just that. We will be drinking tea. Maybe we'll also make some cookies or some muffins to go along with it while reading poetry. Logic thinking. This is where we will like go through workbooks, like critical thinking workbooks, logic workbooks. I also plan on doing like treasure hunts or making puzzles for the kids to have to solve. So it'll just be kind of like a STEM activity, but just to make sure that they're working those critical thinking skills. We will focus on country culture on Thursdays, and for this year, we'll be focusing on Asia since that's where we live. So each week I'll put together some information on a different country. We'll learn where it is located, the capital. Maybe we'll try to cook a dish from there. Of course, get books on the country or culture. Just something fun since we live here. And then Science Friday will be like, for an hour, we will do science experiments, maybe even listen to Science Friday, the podcast, maybe watch a science documentary. So it'll be different each week. I will try to, as much as I can, relate these to what we're already learning about. It not really like with the logic and critical thinking stuff, but the science for sure. If I can bring in, art and music from a particular thing that we're reading about throughout the week, I'll do that as well. So I thought I hit record, but I didn't. So I already marked this up. Um, I got this printable from Tina's Dynamic Homeschool. She has this as a free printable on her page. The only thing that I messed up was I didn't pay attention to the margins when I printed. So it's supposed to say 2018, 2019 school calendar. I just don't want to waste this piece of paper. It's really not that serious. So I'm just going to keep it. So what I did first was put an end date. For this year, I know I want to be done by the end of June because we will be moving next July. So I put that in there first, and then I marked any days I knew we had vacations coming up, or vacation trips planned. So we will be taking a week in October. I took off for Thanksgiving, 2 weeks around Christmas and New Year's. We will be going on another trip in March and then in May. So going backwards, I counted to see how many weeks we had. So starting from June, going back, not counting the holiday weeks, I have us needing to start by September 3rd so that we have the full 36 weeks to be able to complete everything by the end of June. Now, some of these weeks I have planned for now, like for instance, this Thanksgiving week and these 2 weeks in Christmas. But theoretically, if we needed to take, let's say we decided last minute to take a trip the 10th of December instead, or, in May we decided to go the end of April somewhere, it's not a big deal. I have the 36 weeks planned, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6 weeks of vacation in there planned as well, and I can move around those weeks. That's totally fine. But at least I've given myself enough time to both have vacations or time off planned as well as have those 36 weeks planned. So for this year, I'm going to be using the Happy Planner to plan out our weeks. And starts off with an overview of the year 2018, 2019, and then we'll go to September. It starts off here. I don't really think I will be using this for any personal things. I do have a bullet journal that I do all of my personal stuff in. So this is just strictly for homeschooling. It has like a little quote or saying at first. So we have a monthly layout. So on this, I will be putting whatever activities that we're doing. The boys are in Taekwondo. My oldest is taking piano and guitar. So those are all the things that are right here, as well as any field trips that we have planned with the homeschool group or any educational related activities that we do. I'll put that here. This is the weekly layout of the Happy Planner. And for this, I'm going to be breaking it down. So I'm having my sons in this first block. They're both doing the Build Your Library Level 2. The big differences are like the geography, the lessons, but they're still going to be doing the same lessons, just in different books. So the core of their planning, I'm going to put here. I'm going to have my daughter's stuff here, and then here are going to be the activities that I have, like the art, music, poetry, tea, like those loop scheduling activities I'm going to have here at the bottom, but I'm going to only use half of the block, and then the bottom half I will put like any games that we might have played or other kind of educational things. If we did like a handicraft or anything else, I'm just going to have that here at the bottom. So then the Happy Planner has each of the weeks laid out where I can plan all of that and then, go further. So when I do plan, I'm only going to plan 1 month at a time because I don't want to fill out this entire thing for the whole year and then we get, 5 weeks into it and we fall behind or we get ahead and then it's just the scheduling is kind of off for the rest of the year. So I'm only going to do about 4 weeks at a time, and then at the end or as we get closer to that 4th week, I will then continue on and do another 4 weeks at a time and either, slow down or speed up wherever we need to. So here I have what subjects we'll be doing each day. I have the printout of the Build Your Library Level 2 here so I can see how she has everything broken down as far as the literature and poetry and history, art as well. This would be kind of supplementary to the sassafras science. This is something that we can look at in the evening. And also for handwriting, we'll be working on the copy work from here. Also have pulled up on my computer the K4 curriculum from Confessions of a Homeschooler so I can go through and write out what is planned for each week. So I've split up my first 2 boxes, my last 2 boxes, and have written activities, loop, and then my children's names here. This part is going to take the longest. I will do like a speed going fast video just to kind of do the start of it, but it will take the most time because I have to go through each book or keep referencing the Build Your Library curriculum breakdown to fill in this first week. So here I have filled out what we're doing for the first week. At the top, I put, and I messed up a couple things, but I don't have any whiteout, so it's just going to be like it is. I put what we're doing for each day, following the schedule that I have kind of written for myself here, the top part of the schedule. The only thing I have not done yet are the German and Korean, and I will add those a little bit later. For the Korean, we're just learning a few basic characters each week. And then for the German, that mostly includes me speaking German to the children, reading German books to them, and then we also have 52 weeks to speaking German, and I have misplaced that book right in time for this video, so I'm not going to include that for now, but I will be adding it later. So I filled in the top part on what we're doing each day, and then also split up their math here. I can't go lesson 1, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 2 for this because my my middle son decided to already get a jump start on his math. So he is about 5 lessons in and will be, I just wrote from there. So like I said before, we'll have math 4 days a week, and then I've already written 2 games that I want to play on Friday. So we want to play Sub Shop and Some Swamp. It's like the SS Friday, SSSS Friday. We'll play those just to reinforce adding and subtracting concepts. And then for my daughter, I have for her K4 curriculum, the first week is just alphabet review. So I just wrote that across the top. I've only written puzzle here because I'll be working on a puzzle, but I will include more activities for her each day. I just haven't filled that in yet. I'll talk about that a little bit more on my preschool curriculum video. And then the loop portion, I have only written down that we are going to do the cloud in a jar because that is part of the Build Your Library curriculum. So we'll be doing that on Friday as part of our Science Friday. But I haven't written anything else in here yet. I am also going to make another video on how will be doing the loop scheduling. And then the activities is something that I'll fill in every week, or every day I should say, as we do different games or activities to reinforce our learning or to extend our learning in any way. And then on the side, I have written down things that I need to get or books that I want to get while I'm at the library. So this is something that I'll take with me to the library. So I already know on Friday we'll be doing an experiment because that is part of the Build Your Library portion. So I know I need a jar and hairspray for that. And then when I go to the library, in addition to whatever books that I get, I'll also focus on getting science books or any kind of picture books on Rome or maps and globes, and then alphabet books. And alphabet books means something like the Chicka Chicka Boom Boom book, or the Lois, I think it's Earhart, the A to Z vegetables, fruits and vegetables book. So I'll try to find books like that for my daughter for her alphabet review this week. So the remainder of my first 3 weeks of planning will look exactly like this, except for the different subjects or the different things that we're learning about. And I'll continue filling that out on the next few pages. The last part of my curriculum planning is this idea I got from Tanya over at Project Happy Home. I have all the curriculum that I'm using, and then each, how many lessons there are. So then as we complete each lesson, I'm going to either color it in or X it out so that I know which ones we've completed. So when I come to the end of 4 weeks, I can look through, see which ones we've completed, and then go from there instead of trying to flip back through and, read through all of these. And that is how I plan for our school year. How do you plan for your school year? If you have a video on how you plan, let me know down in the comments. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Please, if you enjoyed this video, like it and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you next time.